Hey everybody, it's Dean here, and today I'm going to show you my official predictive 2022 NFL draft. Now, one thing I want to premise is when I do trades, I'm not going to get into the specifics of it. I'm just going to swap the first round picks. And I'm also not going to go too into the players and what they do because we're aware of that. It's draft day, so let's get right into it. And we're going to start with the Jacksonville Jaguars. And I think the cat's out of the bag. They're going to pick Trayvon Walker here. I'm going to do draft grade videos for every team, and I will get into it more, my reactions more when I do those. But just know this will not have a good reaction. I do not think it just won't have a great reaction. I promise you that. Next we have the Lions, and they are going to run up the draft card and take Aiden Hutchinson. Hometown guy going to the hometown team. Yeah, it doesn't get better than that. He's the number 3 player in the class on my board. I love it. Next we got the Texans, and I believe that Derek Stingley is the betting favorite to go in this spot. However, I don't think it's going to be the case. I think they're going to build in the trenches. They're a rebuilding team, and I think the trenches are going to be valued within the first 5 picks more than defensive backs. In this pick, I think it's going to be Evan Neal. Evan Neal's number 1 tackle on my board. I think he'll be number 1 on a lot of teams' boards. I know some people say that Ekwonu is number 1 on some, but I mean, just the potential and how big Evan Neal is, it's hard to pass him up, and I think it's a great pick for him building around Davis Mills. Next for the Jets, I actually think it is a lock right here for Jermaine Johnson. It's high for my taste. It's actually pretty damn high for my taste. I think him and Trayvon Walker are very similar players. However, I hear from the Jets beat writers that they absolutely love him, that Saleh loves him. And I mean, this is predictive. This isn't what I would do, and I think that's what's going to happen. Next, we got the Giants. And for the Giants-wise, they're also going to go tackle here, and they're going to take Ekwonu. He is the best run blocker in this class. He needs to work on his pass blocking a bit. You could also insert him at guard, and he'd do amazing first day. So, you're a Giants fan, this is who you want. Next, we got the Panthers. And this is a desperate organization. So I think they are going to go quarterback here. And I don't think they're going to go Malik Willis because they need someone who can play now. And I believe in their eyes, Kenny Pickett is probably the safest option. I think it's a bad pick. I will say my reaction to this one right now. I think it's a bad pick. He's the number 4 quarterback on my board. He's 24. He's got small hands. I don't know. I don't think it'd be a great pick for him, but I do think it's what's going to happen. And if it's not Pickett, I think they just go quarterback in the spot in general. Either way, it's not a good pick. Next, we got the Giants again, and I think they will go Ahmad Gardner here, Sauce Gardner. The cool thing about Sauce is he fits their scheme perfectly. He's a press man corner. They run a ton of press man. That's why I put him in the spot above Derek Stingley. I also just happen to have him as my corner 1 compared to Stingley, who is my 2, which, to each their own. Next, we got the Falcons. Now, the Falcons have a bunch of options in this spot. They could trade back. They could pick. They could do what they want, but I do think that they are going to trade. And I believe the team that trades with them is going to be where are they? Why am I tripping out right now? I think it's going to be the Saints. 8, and I don't think they'll go with their other first round pick, so we'll just say that. I think the Saints trade up here, and the Saints have a lot of options, but I think that they very much are going, not quarterback, sorry. I don't think they're going to draft a quarterback. I think they're going to jump Seattle, and I think they are going to take a tackle here, and they're going to take Charles Cross. I'm high on Cross. I think he's the best pass blocker for sure. I think he's got a lot to work on in the run game, but I think they think that the Seattle is going to take a tackle here, and as much as people say the league likes Trevor Penning, I can't get it in my head that that's possible. He commits a penalty on every play, and I don't think they want to take a chance at him. That's who they have to pick. And I think that's why they traded up. I think they want a tackle. They need a tackle, really. They lost Ron Armstead. Next, we got Seattle. And Seattle. I was tripping out for a sec. Seattle's got a lot of options here. I don't think they go corner. We know that coaching staff does not value corners, especially this high. They can go safety. They won't. Good. It's not a good thing. But in this spot, sorry, I'm just giving a little thought here because I had someone in mind, but I'm not too sure anymore. No, I think this is a good spot for Thibodeau. I think Pete Carroll won't mind. I don't think Pete Carroll's like the other coaches thinking he has an ego. I think he'd be excited to put him on this team. They need some juice, especially on defense. I love the pick. I think it's an absolute steal. He's the number 2 player on my board. So I'm a big fan. Next we got the Jets, and the Jets are very, very happy that they can take a receiver in this spot. And I think that receiver, the first one is going to be Garrett Wilson. I think on most teams' draft boards, it's not Garrett Wilson. I think it is Jameson Williams. However, I think this is a guy who the Jets really like. He fits what they want to do, how they run their offense. This is good. This is really good. Next, we got Washington. Washington. They have options, and I think they will go Kyle Hamilton in this spot. He might not fit their defense completely, and you might think it's a little high if you think of him as more of a Landon Collins clone. But he's going to be a chess piece. I think you can put him in the back free safety. I think you can put him at 2 safety high. I think he's best in a 2 safety high look, and I think you can play him as the box safety and be just fine as that Landon Collins. I think that Rivera is going to absolutely love this kid. He is the play at 11. Next, we got the Vikings, and they're going to run up the Derek Stingley pick. Run it up there. God knows they need corners, and a great corner just fell to him at 12. I'm not even going to get into it more. Next, we got the Texans. And I think the Texans are a very likely trade candidate in this scenario. And I think a team that trades up with them is going to be the... Where are they at? Sorry. Why am I all the way down there? There's 22. Oh, there it is. It's going to be the Green Bay Packers. Forced trade. We're not going to get into it. They won't give up their other first-round pick. They'll give up a bunch of seconds, a bunch of thirds. It'll be expensive. Forced trade, and they're going to come up here, and they're going to draft Jameson Williams. Jameson Williams is a raw prospect, but I know teams have a lot. I know a lot of teams have him at number 1 as their wide receiver, and I think the Packers know that they need to take a chance on a guy. They can't go and take a safe wide receiver. They want a guy that has a chance to be an all-pro wide receiver, and that's what Jameson Williams' ability is. He has that chance. Next, we got Baltimore. For Baltimore, I think Jordan Davis will be the pick here. They need D-line help, and I'm thinking edge, but I would not take any of the edge players here in this spot right now. And I think the Ravens, I think Jordan Davis is going to be really valuable to many teams. I'll be completely honest with you. If Jordan Davis went within the top 5 picks, within the top 8 picks, I would not be surprised. I think a lot of teams look at him and think, we have never seen this kind of athleticism from this big a player before. And it's just kind of this, he reminds me of Trayvon Walker, except he's better than Trayvon Walker. So I think the Ravens get an absolute steal here. He just seems like a Ravens kind of player too, so I'm digging it. Next you got Philly's first pick. And God, they need so many things, and they see Atlanta right behind them, and they make their move on a receiver right now, and that receiver is going to be Drake London. I don't have Drake London as high as other people do. He is definitely not my 3rd ranked receiver. However, I think other teams really like him, and I know that the Eagles don't have the greatest pedigree in drafting receivers, except for Devontae Smith last year. But I think they'd like a nice, big, dependable guy that they can throw to because they don't currently have that right now. Next, we have the Falcons. The Falcons here are also going to go receiver because God knows they need it, and they're going to go Treylon Burks. Treylon Burks is my number one receiver, so I think it's an absolute great pick. They won't go quarterback here. They're going to wait till next year, as a smart team should. I almost want to pick Desmond Ridder in this spot because they're connected to him, but I don't think that'll be the case. I think they're smart. They take Treylon Burks, best wide receiver available, and they keep moving. Next, you got the Chargers. Chargers are kind of sad they missed on Jordan Davis. But the Chargers also kind of need a cornerback. So I think they go Trent McDuffie here because there is a bit of a drop-off from this point on. I really, really like Andrew Booth, but I think Trent McDuffie is just a safer pick than him. But, you could see Andrew Booth in the spot. I think teams look at Andrew Booth and are very impressed by his film. He just kind of moves differently than everybody else. But I do think corner is the pick here for him. They don't need a corner. They got J.C. Jackson. You might be asking yourself why. They want to put Asante Samuel Jr. in the slot where he thrives, and they just want to put another starting caliber corner. It doesn't need to be a corner one. It can be a corner two, and that's what Trent McDuffie can easily be, in my opinion. He's got a pretty high floor as a cornerback prospect. Next, we got the Philadelphia Eagles again. And they have to go defense here. Absolutely. And I think this could definitely be a spot that you see what's his name? I think you could see Lewis Cine sneak into this spot. It's very high for my taste. Extremely high for my taste, mind you. But I know he's valued just like I think every other Georgia defender who will be picked in this first round. His combine is very much valued. They killed the combine, and he still looks good on film. He's the safety 3 in my opinion, but I think someone will fall in love with him, and I think that someone is going to be the Eagles. Sorry, there's a technical issue. The Saints are going to go, no, it's not quarterback, I'm sorry. They're going to go receiver here, and they're going to pound the table. They're going to get Chris Olave. God knows they need a receiver, and they get one, and they get a good one. I really like him, and if Michael Thomas comes back, it'll be a great 1-2 combo. Steelers get Malik Willis. He falls right into their lap. They love him. It makes sense. You need an elite quarterback in that division that they're in, and it's by no means a guarantee that Malik Willis is an elite quarterback, but he has that potential, and that potential is there. He just needs to sit for about a year, maybe 2 years. I'm being completely honest with you. He is so raw as a prospect, one of the rawest prospects I've ever seen. But I know Mike Tomlin loves him, and he gets his guy. Next, we got the Patriots. A lot of people have them going linebacker here. I think there's a lot of people that can go here. However, it will not be any of these guys. It will be Quay Walker. He will be the first linebacker off the board. I think right now, at least the last time I checked, he was minus 150 to be the first linebacker off the board. Again, teams are falling in love with these Georgia players and their combines. You're going to see them go way higher than they should. Although, I will say, I really like Quay Walker. Part of me wants to, I didn't put him higher on my draft board, but, part of me wanted to put him really, really high on my draft board. He has very fluid hips, excellent athlete, he's huge. It wouldn't be a bad pick here. I think it's actually a really damn good pick here. But there's so many other things the Patriots need right now. Receiver. They need what's it called? They need a corner. God knows they need a corner. But I think Quay Walker's the pick here. I think they go linebacker. Now the Texans are up here because they traded with the Green Bay Packers. And while the Texans are up here, I actually do think you will see another receiver go off the board, and that receiver, I think, will be George Pickens. I know you're thinking, damn, there's a lot of receivers coming off the board, and you're absolutely right, there is. And George Pickens may not be picked till the third round. It's a crazy thought, but that might not be the case. he's a nutcase apparently. Things we've heard in the interviews, things like that. But I mean, the talent's there, and I do think a team will take a shot on this kid. I know. I mean, minus the nutcaseness, he'd probably be the number 2, number 3 receiver in this class. He has so much talent, and I think you just want to try and surround Davis Mills with as much talent as possible. So that's what you get. Next, you get the Cardinals. Cardinals are going to draft edge, or anybody on the line for that matter, because that line play is atrocious. And George Karlaftis is my edge 3. I think it's a great pick here at 23 for him, especially at 23. He should have been picked way higher, but, again, this is predictive. If it was me, I would have picked him way higher. Next, we got the Cowboys. Cowboys can go a lot of things here, but I just think Tyler Smith from Tulsa makes the most sense. He's a project player, absolutely, especially at the tackle spot. But you could put him at guard, and, he'd do great. He'd do fine. He'd do good day one there. And I think you can transition him out to tackle when Tyron Smith retires. So I don't think it's a bad pick. I think it's a good pick. It just kind of makes sense to me. Next, we got the Bills. And there's a lot of things the Bills could go here. However, I do think a running back will be taken in the first round, and that running back will be Breece Hall. Now, this isn't anything like special. I've seen Breece Hall in a ton of mock drafts go to them, and I think it makes sense. I think they want that spark, that offensive spark they need. They haven't had an amazing running game the last couple of years. Josh Allen has been their running game, and I think they want who, in my opinion, is the best running back in this draft class. He's a stud. I love him. Next, we got the Titans. Originally, in one of my first mock drafts, I had them going receiver here. But I don't think there's another receiver I would take in the first round. So instead of receiver, they do need a lot of things, but you also see Zion Johnson on the board, and you take him. You need a lot on the offensive line, to be honest with you. You need a center, you need a guard. Hell, you might need a tackle. But Zion Johnson's here. He's at this pick, and I think it is a good pick. I think he should have been picked a little higher. He is a little undersized, but that's fine. He's undersized, but he has a bunch of power, and you see it on film. Next, we got the Bucks. And the Bucks. Now we get to that point in the draft. Well, at least with the Bucks, because they don't need a whole lot. They really don't. But they do need some depth, especially at the secondary position. And I do think we see corner/safety Daxton Hill come off the board. And he is my number 2 safety. He's just super versatile. You play him in the slot. You could play him up high. It doesn't matter. And it's the type of player that coaching staff loves. So I think it's a great pick here, especially at 27. Next, we got the Packers. And the Packers here, they need some O-line help, especially at guard. I think Kenyon Green gets drafted here. They continue to help Aaron Rodgers. I think this is a great pick. I think he has a chance to be picked a lot earlier, as early as 14 to the Ravens. So I think if you're a Packers fan, you're really happy walking away from this draft that these 2 picks get made. Next, we got back-to-back Chiefs picks. And definitely they're 100% going to draft for the secondary. And I think Kyer Elam gets drafted before Andrew Booth, actually. I think he fits their system a lot, specifically off system. I don't have Kyer Elam over Andrew Booth, but Kyer Elam does fit their system better than Andrew Booth does. So we'll take him there. They need that. And you could potentially see a bunch of things here. You could see them continue to go on the defensive side of the ball. You can see them go wide receiver here, though I personally wouldn't. Although they probably can go wide receiver here. Just thinking about it a little bit. Sorry. No, I think Devontae Wyatt. I think they double down on defense here. They go to Devontae Wyatt. I know he has kind of those off the field issues. I guess that were reported. Chiefs won't care about that, I tell you. So I think it's a great pickup. I like Devontae Wyatt a lot. That's actually, I think, 5 Georgia players drafted in the first round, which, I mean, it isn't surprising to me. Georgia had an excellent defense this year. They were all defensive players. But, oh, no, 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 no. I forgot George Pickens. I think that's 6. That's crazy. Wow, I didn't know that. Next, we got the Bengals. And believe it or not, I actually I actually don't think they go Tyler Linderbaum in this spot. I mean, I could see it happening, but they always make these. They they might be weird with this pick. I don't know. It's just kind of one of those feelings. No, if, I kind of have that the Bengals are gonna bungle type of feeling, but no, if he's here, they'll go Linderbaum. He's an amazing. He's the number 9. He's the number 9 player ranked on my draft board. You gotta go him here. Next, we got the Lions, and you could definitely see another. You could 100% see another quarterback getting drafted. However, that won't happen. I think they need a lot of other things. I think they think we know we'll rock with Jared Goff one more year, or they'll just draft a quarterback. Carson Strong, the best quarterback in this class, later in the draft. But they're going to take the best player available right now, and although he's not my personal best player, he's not my personal best player. I have Nakobe Dean over Devin Lloyd. I think a lot of teams will have Devin Lloyd over Nakobe Dean. I think they'll go Devin Lloyd here. All I know is that defense gets a lot better just off of those 2 picks alone. So, if you're again, I'm really happy with this draft. The draft over. Here's the entire first round. Why to go to second? I thought I didn't pick. Sorry for the sudden cut, but I accidentally picked a 3-round mock draft, so it didn't just go to this page, unfortunately. But we're here, and that was the mock draft, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it if you liked, subscribed, shared, all that stuff. I had a lot of fun. I'm really proud of this draft. I think it has a good chance of getting a lot of these picks right. I think Jermaine Johnson for one is a lock. I think Trayvon Walker's a lock. I think I'd place a bet on Amari Gardner going 7 here. You know, there's a lot of things going to happen. Just remember, no one ever gets their mock draft right. It's just how life is. I hope all of you have a good day. Love you all. Bye.